Good evening and welcome to the Jesseville School District Annual Title I Report to the Public. We want to welcome you. I'm Melissa Spears, the superintendent of the Jesseville School District, and a couple of little things before we get started. If you are here in person, I would ask that you sign in the sign-in sheet out in the lobby. And if you are joining us either through Facebook Live or YouTube, if you will put your name and whether you are a parent, community member, staff member, if you would put that in the comments, we'll be able to record that you attended virtually. So we appreciate that. If you have any questions while we go through the presentation, if you will also include those in the comments, we will monitor those and we'll try to answer those before the end of the meeting. So for your entertainment, and I am always happy to showcase any of our students at any opportunity that we have the 9th through 11th grade treble makers under the direction of Amy Green for us tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
Dear God, dear God, dear God, dear God, be good to me. Dear God, be good to me. Dear God, be good to me. The sea is so wide, the sea is so wide, so wide. Dear God, dear God, dear God, be good to me. And my boat, and my boat, and my boat, dear God, and my boat, is so small, is so small. Dear God, dear God, dear God, dear God, Amen. Be good to me.
So much. That was Dear God, Be Good to Me, a play on a Breton fisherman's prayer by Lee R. Kesselman. And our next song will be an old Irish favorite, Hi Ho, the Rattling Bog.
Hi-yo, the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley-o. Hi-yo, the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley-o. Now in this bog there was a tree, a red tree, a rattling tree. The tree and the bog down in the valley-o. Hi-ho, the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley-o. Hi-ho, the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley-o. Now on this tree there was a limb, a rare limb, a rattling limb. The limb of the tree, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hi-yo, the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley-o. Hi-yo, the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley-o. Now on this limb there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch. The branch on the limb
That was arranged by Linda Spevacek and also featured 3 of our other students from the 9th grade playing some percussion for us. And we are going to end with an Irish lullaby, Aonini. Excuse me. Thank you so much. That last piece is entirely in Gaelic, and it didn't take them too long to learn it. We'll be performing these Friday at Lakeside High School for the annual Southwest Arkansas Region Choral Performance Assessment, which is in effect our contest. That's what they used to call it. And I think that we're ready, very much so. I would also like to thank our accompanist, our wonderful accompanist from the 7th grade, Mr. Thomas Sinclair. He has been so valuable through this whole process. And thank you so much for having us.
Thank y'all very much. I enjoyed it very much. Again, I always like to be able to showcase our students, and whether it's an athletic event, a music event, band, I love for our students to be the center of attention. So thank y'all. All right, so now on with our Title I report to the public. Title I is a federal program. We get money. That's one of the ways that we as a school district are funded. It's money that comes from the federal government into the state to be given then to the school district. The purpose of Title I funds is to ensure that all of our students have a fair, equal, and significant opportunity to a high-quality education, and that they reach the standards of readiness on their state assessments. So within that program, our Jesseville elementary and middle school students are school-wide programs, which means that every student in that school benefits from the money that is spent in that school. We have a little more flexibility with how we spend the money. The high school is a targeted assisted school, which just means that we have to target spending the money, that money on students who maybe are the lower achieving students and need a little more help. This year's allotment for our Title I program was almost $495,000 that we received to spend on Title I programs. The requirements of Title I Part A, the programs have to be based on effective means for improving student achievement. So when we get ready to spend that money, there are a lot of questions that you have to ask and approved ways that we can spend that money. We can't just go out and spend it on things that are not directly targeted to improving student achievement. We also have to spend that money on strategies to support parental engagement, and all of our programs and the things that we're spending that money on are included in our school improvement plans. We'll be posting this to our website, and in that will be a link to our school improvement plans, which are also found on our website, so you can go in if you would like to and look at those improvement plans and see some of the things that we're spending our money on. As a parent, you have certain rights under Title I, and one of those is you have the right to be involved in the Title I program. By your participation tonight, you are becoming involved in that program. You have a right to know how that money is spent. You have a right to know if our teachers meet the state and licensing qualifications for the grade and subject that they are teaching. And all of our teachers are licensed for the subject areas that they are teaching. You also have the right to request the qualifications of the paraprofessionals that are working with your students and with our teachers. And they have to also meet certain standards and be highly qualified. And all of our paraprofessionals are considered highly qualified. They've met those requirements. The curriculum some of the curriculum that we pay for through our Title I program, our K-12 teachers are fully implementing the Arkansas standards for all of the curriculum. Our K-12 science teachers are implementing our next generation science standards. Our teachers have spent quite a bit of time over the last few years unpacking their standards, digging in and knowing exactly what their standards, what the expectations of teaching those standards are. We have digital learning courses in our high school. As a matter of fact, students who graduate from high school are required to have had at least one digital course. We have Chromebooks one-to-one in all buildings. For our K-1 students, they have Chrome tablets that are getting them ready to begin using the Chromebooks that they'll get after they reach second grade and on up. We also have an opportunity for our high school students to learn community service learning credits. They actually get a credit for that if they meet certain requirements on their high school transcripts. And then we have a program for students who might have some need that they aren't doing as well in the regular traditional classroom, and we are able to meet those needs through our hub program. We also have several methods that we assess student progress throughout the year. You've probably heard your K-2 students talk about DIBELS, and DIBELS is a measure of their reading level and their reading growth. All K-2 students are required to be tested using DIBELS. For our other grades, you've probably heard your students talk about MAP assessments. We use the NWEA testing, the MAP assessment, to test in K-12 reading, language, math, and science. And it's an adaptive test, so it measures students not only where they are, but how much they've grown over the last time that they took that test. And we test 3 times a year, in the fall, in the winter, and then in the spring. We also do STAR reading assessment for students in K through 8th grade. We do accelerated reader in K-8 as well. Our students who teach the same subject area, same grade level, they work together to develop common formative assessments. So whether I have Miss Jones as a teacher or Miss Smith as a teacher, if they're both teaching me the same subject, or teaching students the same subject, I'm getting the same test. We also do reading interventions for our K-12 students. If a student is struggling, or maybe they're not where they need to be as a reader, they are probably part of our reading intervention program, and they get some reading interventions. And then this year, we've implemented a new program. It's Lexia Core 5 for our K-5 students, and Power Up for our grades 6 through 10, and that also is a reading intervention program. So some of the indicators of academic performance for schools, because schools are rated on how well we are teaching and how well our students are doing their academic performance, we are measured by how our students perform on the statewide assessments. We've been taking the ACT Aspire, which I believe we have one more year on that, and then they'll be taking a new test, students across the state of Arkansas. We're also measured on student academic growth on those assessments, and our middle school and our elementary school did really well this year in academic growth. They performed really well. Our secondary schools are measured. One of the measures for that is our graduation rate. Are we graduating students within 4 years of them entering high school? And then another measure is in our English language learners, are they progressing in acquiring the English skills that they need to be? So when we talk about that academic performance of our students, we have some expected proficiency levels that that our students are scored on. So students are classified in one of the following categories based on their Aspire scores. And if you remember, there were no summative assessments in the 1920 school year. But they will be either in need of support, close, ready, or exceeding in the areas where they're tested on the Aspire. And that will depend on how well they do on the assessment. And Mrs. Glomsky is going to come and talk to you about My School Info and our parent and family engagement plans.
Good evening. I'm Kendall Glomsky. I am the Director of Curriculum Instruction and the District Test Coordinator and Parent and Family Engagement. One of our tools that we use here in our district, and it's also available for parents, is called My School Info. And I've talked about this several times, but up here in the top, you can actually search for a school district or a school itself. We'll just pull up the high school. And this will bring you to Jesseville High School. And you can click on that link, and then this information will tell you all kinds of information about our before school program, whether or not we have an after school program, free breakfast and lunch for our students, some of our programs that we have academic wise, some of our enrichment programs. Also gives you a nice map. Also lets you know who our representatives and our state senators are, so that's nice to have. On this next tab, you have our statistics with regards to our going rate for college, our district per pupil expenditures. That's probably on the district page. This is updated every year around this time, so the new one is out for last year. Then on the last one, it talks about reports. We have our school report card. For the year, we have the Essa Index, which Ms. Spears was just talking about. I need to pick a different year. There we go. It's a really nice tool that the state of Arkansas provides parents and community members so that you can be more informed about your school district. You can compare school districts. You can see the performance level of not just the district, but individual schools within the district, and it can better inform you and help you make decisions and understand what's going on in our schools. So here is the report card for Jesseville High School. This is the overall Essa score index, for example. You can export that to a PDF. You can share the report with someone, just whichever your needs are. You can also scroll down and look at discipline histories for our school or for our district, just depending on which way you're going. For example, here's our out-of-school suspensions for last year. You can see that there were 10 males who served out-of-school suspension. All of this is reported on a daily basis to our state reporting system. You can see that we had 18 males in school suspension. We had corporal punishment. All students is a comparative down there at the bottom, and then it gives you a total. A lot of schools are offered or apply for school waivers from the State Department. Currently, the Jesseville School District does not have any waivers at this time, so, but that information would be located there. Again, you can find this at the myschoolinfo.arkansas.gov, and then you can look in for our school district. The next thing I wanted to share with you is our district parent and family engagement plan. And for those of you that are watching, currently in our basketball arena in the lobby, we have the United Way and Entergy partnered up with Jesseville School District to provide free tax assistance for those of you that qualify. If you need more information about what you should bring to that, you're welcome to call 501-226-7045, and I can let you know everything that you need to bring, and we will be available till 7 o'clock with that service. Here's a copy of our District Family Community Engagement Plan for 21-22. It has our goals. It talks about a survey that we sent out. Talks about our events that we're having this year, parent-teacher conferences. We'll have our CAPS night for middle school and high school students later in the spring. Talks about good communication between teachers and parents. Open two-way communication is so important and critical, especially nowadays with our students, so that we can make sure that we are able to provide the best education possible for your students, and you can help us in supporting our endeavors in that. The district parental engagement coordinators for each school, Lyndon Albright is the elementary representative, Jody Castleberry is the middle school representative, and Miss Ashley Honeycutt is the high school representative. So you can reach out to them if you have any questions or concerns. You can also reach out to me, be happy to answer any questions or discuss any events that you would like to see take place with our Family Engagement Committee. And I will turn it back over to Ms. Spears.
Thank you, Mrs. Golomsky, and we're going to check and see if we've got any questions that have been posted in either of our virtual meeting spaces. Okay, and we don't have any. We appreciate you attending tonight, and if you have questions, if this has raised any questions in your mind, please reach out to either one of your building offices or to me, and we will do our very best to answer that question. We appreciate the support that we get from our parents and our community. Thank you and have a good evening.